Winners and losers. Brad Gillie, we're going to do winners first of all. I know that goes against my nature because I think losing is so much more exciting. Or maybe that's just because I'm an Atlanta Falcons fan and I'm used to it my entire life.
Great
Winners, let's go with your big winner coming out of Talladega.
Well, we only had one change between a driver who was out and a driver who is now in, heading into the cutoff race this weekend at the ROVAL, and that would be Tyler Reddick. He left Kansas Speedway sitting -4 in the standings, and now he comes out of Talladega Super Speedway at +14. I would say that's a pretty good shift for Tyler Reddick, so at least to put a plus in front of his name in double digits makes Tyler Reddick my biggest winner.
So Tyler Reddick is Brad Gillie's big winner from Talladega. Alexis Erickson, how are you feeling?
Yeah, I'm going to go with the one guy, the one and only guy that can come into the ROVAL and, breathe just a little bit of sigh of relief, and that's William Byron. Not because he has a win, but because he's claimed so many points in the first two races of this round that he has clinched a spot in the round of 8. He got 48 points yesterday, which is only 1 point less than winner Ricky Stenhouse. He just gained, had such a great points day yesterday, and he's in. So he can breathe a little bit easier
and
this weekend.
And we should note that not a single driver has advanced out of the round of 12 by winning one of the races. They've been won by non-playoff drivers. Ross Chastain won at Kansas. It was Ricky Stenhouse Jr. at Talladega. As a matter of fact, Brad Gillie brought this to my attention yesterday. 3 of the 5 playoff races have been won by non-playoff drivers, and now we are at 18 different winners. I'm getting off track here for just a second, but didn't we talk about last week? Well, didn't one of you say we might have 20?
Well, I think one of the green flag, black flag questions last week was, will we get to 20? And I don't even remember, to be honest with you, what my answer was. But sitting here right now, I think it could happen. Yeah. I mean, my goodness, we're at 18. I never would have guessed that at the beginning of the season that we'd be sitting here at 18.
Brad, if you'd told me 18 winners, I would have taken the under all day.
I would have too. And then to think that 19 is the record, which actually was tied and achieved during the first year of the next-gen car, considering if we could get to 20, that would actually be a NASCAR record in the modern era of different winners in the season.
All right, wrapping up our original topic here was the big winner coming out of Talladega. I'm going to go with Denny Hamlin. He was a guy that was looking like he was going to be 17 points down. But then we have the big wreck, and Denny is running so badly because his car is nicked up that he misses all the big wreck, and he winds up with a top 10 finish. He finishes 10th, and Denny Hamlin comes out of this, Alexis, plus 30 to the good. Going to the ROVAL, I like his chances to get to the round of 8 now.
I do too. Yeah, I mean that's a huge swing. There was a point there in the race, and I know how people feel about points as they run. It's
blasphemy.
It is what it is.
Especially at Talladega.
But I mean, there was a point there, like you said, where he was fixing to be at almost 20 points below the cut line, and that's huge. And then to have that kind of a swing and to leave there plus 30, they had to have been feeling pretty good about that.
Maybe a good omen for the long-suffering Denny Hamlin without a title yet. Brad Gillie, your loser from Talladega.
Well, I'm going to go the opposite of my winner. If Tyler Reddick raced his way into playoffs contention, then Joey Logano is going to have to be my big loser. He went into Talladega +4 above the cut line and now sits at -13. And that puts 2 Team Penske cars below the cut line right now. So Joey Logano, for me, is going to be the biggest loser.
Alexis?
Yeah, I'm going to go with Daniel Suarez. He went in -14. He comes out -20, which isn't a huge swing, 6 points. But when you think about the fact that, there's only so many opportunities to gain points and to advance yourself. You're going to the ROVAL where, yes, he is not terrible on road courses. Certainly, he, even could say he's pretty good at them. But you're going to go up against the likes of a bunch of other drivers that need to win or want to win. And so it's going to be really hard to overcome that 20 points, I think, for Daniel Suarez. Plus, he had an opening race penalty that, it was not a great day.
The deck was stacked against him before that race literally even started. My big loser is going to be the guy that looked really good until that big wreck sucked him up along with 27 other drivers, and that's Austin Cindric. Let's hear from Austin.
The 4 wide there's got to be some of the craziest stuff I've been a part of. And it's just amazing the kind of the strategy games, and that one short caution, putting everybody in a fuel window, and if there's a will, there's a way, and guys in the field usually find a way, and it's pretty incredible that there's a high enough talent level in the field that we can keep that straight all the way to the end of the stage.
Addressing the four-wide racing that was pretty dramatic, and he was a big part of that. Cindric had a chance to maybe win the race. If he does that, he locks his space in, and he moves to the round of 8, but unfortunately he's part of the crash, and he is now below the cut line. So those are our big winners and losers from Talladega. Brad, overall impact, I think you touched on this, minimal as far as who's in and who's out, though, after it was all said and done.
Yeah, minimal on who's in and who's out, but what really did change, and this is easy to go unnoticed, is the plus-minus changed in a big way. I mean, you mentioned Denny Hamlin sitting at plus 30 right now. You've got Alex Bowman at plus 26, Ryan Blaney at plus 25, Reddick at plus 14, Elliott at plus 13. Look, these drivers can really have a big opportunity to strategize their way through the ROVAL. I look at anyone with a minus right now, Briscoe, Cindric, Suarez, even Logano, as a must-win at the ROVAL. I don't know that they're making up that many points on a type of racetrack or road course where, well, we see the way that they strategize stage points versus going for the win. I think if you're below the cut line right now, you better be holding a checkered flag on Sunday if you want to advance to the round of 8.
Yeah, and it's going to make it really interesting because you're going to have a lot of guys that are hungry for that checkered flag, thinking they're in a must-win situation, potentially being pretty aggressive. So
I think if you're one of those 4, maybe 5 drivers at the bottom, you have to go out and try to win this race. I don't see a clear path for you to point your way into the show.